Gabba the game night, Gabba the game night, Gabba the game night, yay!
Phoenix, try thinking outside of the box.
I shouldn't look for proof that Officer Marshall was in disguise. But rather I should look for evidence that came about because he was in disguise.
Why do you think this lock was opened in the first place?
What do you mean?
There's no reason for Officer Marshall to open his locker at the time of the crime. Yet he did, despite the chance it might be discovered later, as it has been.
Which means he didn't originally plan to open this locker.
According to the defense's argument, Officer Jake Marshall dressed up as Detective Goodman at the time of the crime. Then, after the crime was committed, he opened his own locker for some unknown reason. What is that cloth? The fact that a white cloth is sticking out of the locker seems to indicate that. He opened it in order to put the cloth inside. So, just what exactly is this piece of cloth?
Perhaps the video is the key to all our unanswered questions. I don't have any evidence, so this video is my only shot.
Back to the video.
Very well.
Very well. Let's take another look at the security tape. After committing the crime, the witness opened the locker to pull away the white cloth, yada yada yada. Police shows why the witness had to open his own locker.
I did see he got, it looked like he got blood on his coat.
That is very potential.
Oh, sorry, I can fast forward.
Well. Probably something around the time Meekins came in.
Because it's not the glove, obviously.
Yeah. We found the glove outside.
This is when he got the blood after they tussled. I can polish, right? Okay. Can I rewind too?
Can you fast forward and rewind? Yeah, frame by frame. I mean, I can't say blood on right now.
No, it's after this, I'm pretty sure.
And Meekins does attack
No, if
him.
you watch in a minute, he's gonna have like a red.
Yeah.
Well, it's black and white, so.
Like a red.
So you look on his shoulder
Yeah.
there.
Probably want a better view of that.
Yeah, there's more.
Yeah, you couldn't exactly leave the evidence room like that.
Look at Meekins.
Yeah.
It looks so phony. He's fighting a giant toy.
You know, the blue badger sits there. Oh, yeah, probably that big old blood stain.
Yeah, that's gonna be the best we got.
Okay, make sure you rewind too. Probably that moment is the best showcase of the blood stain. I swear to God, if this doesn't work, I'm going to sue the judge. The music's off, that's always a good sign.
For some reason, you disguised yourself as Detective Goodman and entered the evidence room, though I don't know what to what end. Yet. However, something unexpected happened. Officer Meekins barged in on you. When asked to show your ID card, you pulled a knife on him. However, Officer Meekins panicked, and the white coat you were wearing was soiled with blood.
A bloody white coat?
You couldn't just walk out like that, so you hid the coat in your locker. Not bad, partner.
But do you have any evidence that's the coat sticking out? Now then, Officer Marshall, are you ready to tell us the truth?
Looks like I underestimated y'all. I hope you're happy now, Mr. Edgeworth. 2 years ago, if you were only half as persistent then as you are today, we all wouldn't have to be here now would we? Officer Marshall, tell the court what you did. All of it. Alright. It seems the time has come.
Time. Another testimony. And then...
I had to do it that day. I couldn't just stand by and let it die. I stole the detective's ID and dressed like him. I planned to take out the evidence. I wasn't expecting Officer Meekins. I knocked him out and managed to escape. I knew which areas wouldn't be caught on the camera. There wasn't any murder in the evidence room at 5:15.
So the supposed victim was really you. But there's one thing I still don't understand. Traces of a large quantity of blood were found on the floor of the evidence room. If no one was murdered, then how could that be?
Officer Meekins managed to cut his own hand. My guess is he's the donor. It was way too much blood for such a small donation.
Alright, so I guess we'll find a contradiction in his confession.
When you say it, you mean... Do you even have to ask, partner?
The Stelline incident? 2 years have passed since that case was closed. It was going to completely end with the transfer that day.
Not if I have anything to do with it. That incident's not over. But what did you hope to accomplish by sneaking into the evidence room? When a case is closed, only that case's lead detective can look through the evidence. I wanted to have a look at it myself one more time. No matter what the cost. I don't care what anyone says, partner. That case is mine. But Officer Marshall wasn't in charge of that investigation. Why does he care so much about it? That day was my last chance. That's why... Why did you disguise yourself as Detective Goodman? If I didn't make it look like Goodman was carrying out the evidence transfer, I'd be arrested for stealing evidence, which wouldn't get me anywhere.
So you did it to fool the security camera? And the detective's ID card?
I stole that the morning of the incident. So that really was why Goodman started filling out that lost item report. I returned his ID card. I left it on the floor in the prosecutor's office parking lot. The ID card I found was left there by Officer Marshall.
So essentially, you managed to succeed despite your lack of foresight.
What do you mean, partner?
I mean the fingerprint-activated lock, of course. No matter how well you disguise yourself, you can't change your fingerprints. Under normal circumstances, you wouldn't have been able to open that locker yourself.
But he could because a rubber glove just happened to get stuck in the door. That means Detective Goodman must have opened the locker before Officer Marshall.
Sometime.
I didn't mean to. You pulled the knife on Officer Meekins and tried to drive him off? Let's just say I was a little surprised. I only planned on being in the evidence room for no more than 5 minutes. I didn't think anyone would actually come in during that short time.
Officer Meekins certainly is a 1 in a million type of person. Mistaking a detective for to be shown his ID. I'll have to think a little more about his ways this year.
Where did this worth get so much influence? Anyway, he threw himself at me and I ended up cutting him slightly. I'm sorry it had to turn out that way, with me knocking him out and everything. By the way, what happened to your knife? Oh, you mean this one? I don't know what to say.
So you knocked Officer Meekins out and...
So you did your research beforehand. Those who go into the desert unprepared don't live long, partner. I didn't think it would make a difference, though. The security tape is erased every 6 hours. If all had gone as planned, no footage would have been left.
However, you bloodied your coat in the struggle with Officer Meekins.
Someone was in the security room when I came out. The jig would have been up. I opened my locker and stashed it in there. What was Officer Meekins doing during that? What was Officer Meekins doing during that time? He had the thinking face on. I thought it was his thoughts. What else? He was sleeping like a baby.
So what you're saying is, on that day... no murder.
But the blood found at the scene certainly indicates the crime took place. What are you, blind? The victim shown on that tape is me, and I'm not dead yet, partner.
So you stole the evidence from the locker?
Actually, no, I didn't.
Why not?
When I opened the locker, the evidence was already gone.
What? Mr. Edgeworth, where is that evidence? It's still missing, Your Honor.
Detective Goodman's locker was already empty. Someone else stole the evidence.
It's all clicking in my
Officer
head.
Marshall, may I ask you one thing? Fire away, partner. It's a free country. Just remember, I'm also free to decide whether or not to answer. Why did you do this? Stealing a detective's ID, injuring a police officer? This is no small offense.
Moreover, you're an officer yourself. This will have serious consequences. It can't just be forgiven with a simple cut in salary.
Not that salary cuts are ever a valid solution. Like I said, this isn't your case. This one is mine. And I'll do anything it takes to get an answer I'm satisfied with.
The witness has an unusual amount of zeal. Let's hear more.
Kingdom of Zeal? Are we back to the beginning now? No.
No, there's a new thing.
I just can't forget the SL9 incident. You know why?
I bet this would need the papers.
Do I press here?
I mean, you can, but you can probably present as well.
But that case was solved 2 years ago, wasn't it?
That's the reason the evidence was stored in the evidence room.
Thanks, Judge.
Joe Dark was convicted for his crimes. One thing I can't say for sure is he deserved his sentence. I can't say. I remember the Joe Dark case. It involved serial murders, didn't it?
I don't intend to complain about how it turned out, but there's something that still bothers me. Something went down at that trial. Something no one will talk about.
What happened?
I don't know. That's what I'm trying to find out. Why is he so concerned with that incident? Maybe I should present him with what I think his real reason is. I had a feeling we'd wind up here sooner or later. Everyone involved here is related in some way to that case. I'd better take another look at the files.
Now to go all the way back to the end. Okay, okay, this one.
Do I just present the whole thing?
Yeah. Look at the stack of files.
Officer Marshall, I think I understand. I think I know why you care so much about the SL9 incident. Sounds like you've been sipping too much cactus juice, partner. I have the SL9 incident file here. The name, Marshall, is mentioned in here.
I do not have to point out the page?
In a list of murder victims. Neil Marshall. Are you related?
Neil Marshall?
Yeah, I'm sure you've heard the name. 2 years ago, he received the same lousy prosecutor award you got.
What? A prosecutor?
He must be talking about the prosecutor's award.
Now I remember. Prosecutor Neil Marshall. He handled the Solanayan case before I did.
That's right. He was killed. And the case fell into your hands.
What's his relation to you?
He was my brother. He was investigating the murders of Damon Gant, the then deputy chief of police. The group of detectives I was part of worked under them. We were desperate to prosecute the killer. Joe Dark. My brother fought Dark and was killed. That was the first time Dark left behind any evidence. That was all we needed. He was arraigned and incarcerated. The case was finally closed, at least according to the public records.
What do you mean?
My brother couldn't have been killed by Joe Dark. I knew my brother better than anyone. No one could have beaten him in a fight.
And that's it? That's your reason for your insane actions?
There's more to my brother's death than what the records say. No matter how much you try to hide it, you can't fool me.
Wow, he teleported that hat back on his head. It's his special power.
Well, at least one thing's for certain. Now we know what happened at the police department on the day of the crime.
That was the last day this line case could be reopened.
Not satisfied.
No, that's me, sorry. Not satisfied with the resolution. Officer Marshall planned to steal the evidence.
Disguising himself as Detective Goodman, he entered the evidence room. Officer Meekins confronted him, so he rendered him unconscious and fled.
Yes, this mystery has finally been cleared up. No murder took place at the police department that day. Now we can get back to the Maygill crime. The things that happen by chance never cease to amaze. At exactly the same time as the murder at the prosecutor's office, this fake murder was going on at the police department.
Chance. It's got to be more than just that.
So if no one was murdered at the police department on the day of the crime, that means the murder in the prosecutor's office parking lot was the real one.
Which in turn means only one person could have committed the crime. Chief Prosecutor Lana Skye.
Wait, a verdict wasn't reached in yesterday's trial.
Nuh-uh. Which is why we examined the incident at the police department today.
But
there's only one reason the defendant was not convicted yesterday. There yet remained the mystery of this simultaneous murder at the police department.
Seems to me this boy's got the draw on you, partner.
All of the mysteries at the police department have been resolved, no doubt about it. Our sole murderer took place at the prosecutor's office. The only suspect is Lana Skye. And the testimony of one Miss Angel Star is completely incontestable. If you have a response, make it a single word or less. Fuck. That's not a word, dumbass. I rest my case. I guess he did say or less.
It seems this trial has reached its conclusion. There's no room for doubt.
Well done, Mr. Wright. Thanks to you, I didn't need to waste my time disproving the alleged murder at the police department.
Can Emma come back or some shit?
There's no doubt what I proved today is true. The apparent murder on the security camera's tape really was fake. But I didn't realize that would end up proving Lana guilty.
Now then, the time for the vote has arrived. Let's go find the defendant.
Hi, Emma.
Hold it! Your Honor, wait!
Emma,
The defense is an objection, a scientific objection. Right?
what do you mean, right?
Mr. Wright, are you the school's guardian?
Your Honor? Innocent.
Please, Your Honor, all I'm asking for is a minute of your time. Please hear me out. Mr. Edgeworth, please.
Fuck off.
No, bye. I don't want to leave any loose ends. You want a minute, I'll give you 3. Because I decide this.
I was kind of in shock. I mean, finding out the SL9 incident referred to the Joe Dart killings.
Now that she mentions it, the names of both Sky Sisters were in that file.
Sky Sisters.
But that's when I figured it out. I mean, what Officer Marshall was trying to do that day. So I knew his fingerprints had nothing to do with the crime. That left only one thing, the other handprint.
You mean the trace of blood found on Detective Gumshoe's locker?
But no fingerprints were found on it, right?
No, but I figured if I examined it scientifically, I'd be sure to find a clue. So I ran over there and looked at it again.
You ran over there? How far is it away?
So did you find something?
No.
Yay! You did nothing!
Sorry, I guess I'm not much of a scientific investigator after all. Is that all? Please don't be mad. I'm just a high school student. And I'm just an attorney. But Mr. Wright, those traces of blood are the only clue we have. If we can't find something wrong with them... Please, Mr. Wright, you're a professional. If anyone can save Lana, it's you. Me? Oh, boy.
Time's up. Now then, Mr. Wright. With regard to the incident at the police department, does any reasonable doubt remain?
It appears the defense is troubled by the other blood mark. Looking at the floor plans, a handprint was discovered around here. Is there a problem with this?
Mr. Wright, I'm sorry I can't be of more use. But still, if you can't find anything wrong with that blood mark, Lana will be...
Please answer my question, Mr. White. We don't have all day.
Yes, Your Honor. If I've needed to concentrate, it's now. What could be wrong with that handprint on Detective Gumshoe's locker? Could there be something I'm missing?
I mean, there's definitely something with it.
I mean,
it's
I've
not
got
in the video.
Can I guess I can look around.
I guess. But it's not in the video.
I didn't say it was in the video.
So it could sometime after that. Did anyone even enter the evidence room after that?
We have the list.
No, Mike Meekin's the last person. At least that shows. And it's a visible hand blood print. It's not in the video, so where did it come from?
I can't even really look at the...
You can look at the video, can't you?
I can look at the video, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought we had a picture of the handprint, maybe.
No, we don't have the floor plans.
So it's hard to say what's wrong with it if I can't...
Yeah.
So that, yeah, the video seems like the only thing it could be at this point.
Yeah, that'd be my guess. Back to the video. It's oops, all video. Oops, all blue badger. Yeah, that's completely.
I mean, I think they're different handprints.
Yeah, that's a completely different bloody handprint.
Oh no, what I'm saying is I think they're different. It's each hand.
Yeah.
But
Maybe.
that doesn't necessarily prove anything.
I don't know. I don't remember what it looks like.
But I can't fast forward now. I can only watch it at normal speed.
Actually, I'm not sure if we can see. Because the blue badge was there.
There's a handprint on the blue badger.
I mean, yeah.
That you've been obsessed about this whole time.
I don't know if it's anything or just a detail. Like someone put their hand there while painting it. I'm honestly not sure at this point. Yeah, we don't really get a... I mean, we kind of get a view of the locker there. I don't say handprint. Oh, the blue badge is in the worst possible spot. And there has to be something wrong with it or we just lose. And of course the blue badge is intentionally there. But we know the blue badge wasn't there before. And he stayed for at least a little bit after. If we have no idea when that blood... I don't see the blood print, but you never get to see behind the blue badger. And we don't have any other evidence relating to it, do we?
I don't know.
I mean, we have a glove, but that glove doesn't have any blood on it.
Yeah, that's the glove from the incident anyway.
Yeah. I'm saying maybe they could have used the
Oh,
gloves to
for
have
peeing,
someone and then put it in there. And that would be why there's a big old blood pile there. And obviously a problem with it. I mean, there's the thing of, we can say that it couldn't have been put there doing this because, it goes all the way through. Interesting.
That seems to have blood on it.
Well, yeah, but...
But I guess that's not going to help in this moment.
That's a picture of a random locker.
Well,
I mean, we could argue with the video that it could have been put there during that crime because the blue badge was there. So we could argue that, because that's exactly where the blue badge is standing. Marshall couldn't agree.
sure, it
with
wasn't
exactly
Marshall's
what
print because he wouldn't have walked past that.
Yeah. He couldn't have even, unless he was behind the blue badger, just to touch gum.
Yeah, you're right. That's probably it.
That's the biggest thing. We don't know what that handprint's from.
This handprint left at the crime scene clearly shows a contradiction. Oh, right. I know how to
The only
spot
thing that seems
contradiction.
clear is you're grasping, Mr. Wright.
I've been staring pretty intently at those floor plans. Tell me, is there a problem with them?
Yes, this is strange. Take a good look at these floor plans.
Hey, there's something on the floor.
Something is missing.
The blue badger. Missing? Means something hasn't been drawn on there.
Yes, something that, when drawn, will completely change the meaning of the blood mark.
Let's pray the defense isn't simply trying to buy time. Very well, Mr. White.
With all this evidence here, there's got to be something I can use.
The question is, which item can prove something is missing in the floor plans?
Okay, so we need to prove something is missing, not say what is missing. We need to prove something is
Which
missing.
item can prove something is missing in the...
So, the...
Well, just the... I mean, if I show this, it's proof that it's missing.
I mean, yeah. Either one might work.
I'm
I don't
not
know.
sure what else other than watching the video again.
I mean, I would possibly present the video here.
As they say back west, even a blind man can hit with buckshot. That is, so long as he's facing the general direction.
It seems Mr. White's not sure which direction to face.
It's no use. The more evidence there is, the greater the chance of me being wrong.
Just calm down, Mr. Wright. Try and remember what the evidence room was like on the day of the crime.
What is it that bothers me about
Okay,
this
maybe
blood
this is
mark?
the blue badger, my bad.
Let's pray this way, okay. Oh, you don't lose HP for this, so you can literally present everything.
To keep on presenting something and don't work. My bad, I thought it was the video. God damn it, no. I swear to God, if you say something about... Okay.
What about that piece of plywood? The Blue Badger? Mascot of the police force? Defender of truth? Guardian of proof?
Explain yourself, Mr. White.
Please look at the floor plan of the crime scene. The Blue Badger is not on here. So watch what happens when we put him in.
Point.
This is where he was dancing at the time of the crime. Well?
Well, what?
I see! The gasp!
That's right. So long as the Blue Badger is dancing here, it would be impossible to place a handprint at this spot on the locker. What?
I didn't put that there? I thought I did. So that means, so exactly what does this mean?
It means it can't be done.
What are you saying? Blood traces were undeniably found on that locker.
Don't look at me. I didn't put it there.
Mr. Wright, think through it scientifically.
Emma.
When'd you get over here?
On that afternoon, Officer Meekins was the one who brought the Blue Badger to the evidence room, right? After he put it down, it would be impossible to leave a handprint on that locker.
So that must mean this blood mark was left there before the Blue Badger was brought in.
Just one moment, or I'll allow such far-fetched balderdash in my courtroom.
Balderdash?
Mm-hmm. It may sound far-fetched, Your Honor,
But that's a Pokemon.
but it's the only possible explanation. On February 21st, in the police department's evidence room, blood was spilled not once, but twice.
But how?
One time was captured on this tape, taken by the security camera. Officer Meekins cut his hand, from which a trivial amount of blood fell. The problem is, the other time... Someone bled prior to the struggle shown on this tape. It had to have been. It had to have been Detective Goodman when he was really murdered.
That's ridiculous. I refuse to accept your absurd claim.
The murder portrayed in the security tape has been proven to be a fake. However, that does not explain the blood mark found on the locker.
So then, assuming this murder you purport really happened, when did it take place? I demand you show evidence that proves that it occurred.
When did the first incident occur?
To summarize, the defense claims that prior to Officer Meekins being caught by Jake Marshall, who was posing as Detective Goodman, another incident took place in that evidence room.
That's right. The blood mark on the locker proves this.
Very well. Then tell us. When did this first incident occur, as Mr. Edwards said? Proof must be presented.
Proof that shows when the murder took place.
Well, I'd assume when the first person went into the evidence room.
There's only one piece of evidence that can show that.
Now then, will the defense please present its evidence? What shows when the first crime took place? When Mr. 777 came in. Or Mrs. 777. The numbers do not indicate a gender.
It's got to be before Mike Meekins came in and put the Blue Badger in at 450.
Yeah, and I doubt Miles out just killed him.
But if Bruce Goodman was in there, he should have been in there too. So was he just like living in there?
Why, he could have came in with 777.
777, yeah.
They went together. I go, hey, come in, buddy.
If the crime took place inside the evidence room, then the killer would have had to enter it. And in order to do so, an ID card would have been required.
An ID card? Oh. The ID card record. Oh.
Officer Meekins brought the Blue Badger panel into the evidence room at...
Let's see here. 4:50 p.m.
Thank you, Judge.
The crime took place before that time. There would be 4:40 p.m. Ah! Edgeworth! Kill him! Ah! Miles Edgeworth! Just what have you done?
I never would have figured you had the nerve, boy.
Drop the act, witness. It doesn't take a lot of thought to figure out it couldn't have been me.
Nope, I ain't getting it.
I'm afraid I don't understand either. It's clear from the luminal blood test I was there. However, when the second crime took place, both Officer Meekins and Officer Marshall failed to notice the blood.
That means the blood from the first crime was wiped away by the real murderer.
I would have just been 10 minutes. I would have had just 10 minutes to murder the victim, carry his body away, and clean up the blood. Unfortunately, that's physically impossible. But now 20 minutes. That would mean the crime must have taken place before Mr. Edgeworth entered the evidence room.
Let's look at the chart again. There's only one other card number remaining. 7777777. Talk about a lucky number.
But wait, that doesn't make sense. How could Detective Goodman have entered the evidence room?
Since there's no record of his card being used beforehand, he must have entered along with the real murderer. That's the only plausible explanation. He went in with 7777777.
Mr. Edgeworth, please look into this ASAP. Find out whose ID number is 7777777777777.
That's too many sevens.
Maybe, that's 1 7 too many, Your Honor.
And I think 2 the way Gabba did it, but okay.
Unfortunately, I'm unable to look up the owner of that ID card. I don't have Google. At least at present.
What? Explain yourself, son.
My phone is dead. The ID number 7777777 belonged to someone with a rank of captain or higher. Someone who is a so-called executive officer. We don't have the authority to inquire into such a person's identity.
But that's ridiculous. Just how...
I'm not finished talking, Mr. Wright.
Oh, my bad.
There's one situation in which we can be granted such authority.
If an official charge filed against the executive is accepted.
An official charge? You're all alike, aren't you? With your cover-ups and your forgeries. That's how the prosecutor's office operates.
I take pride in my work, Officer Marshall. I would appreciate it if you would keep your slander to yourself.
Slander, is it? Okay. Let me ask a question.
Yes.
No, not you. To her, the defendant sitting over there. Your own little executive. Lana?
Don't be stupid. She's been charged with murder. Of course we've looked up her ID number. And it's not 7777777.
Don't play me for a fool, partner. That's not what I want to ask. All I want to know is one thing about that incident.
The Saline incident?
Answer me this, Chief Prosecutor. In that trial 2 years ago, did you really use only legitimate evidence?
Do you need the witness to repeat his question, Chief Prosecutor?
I heard him fine, Mr. Edgeworth.
2 years ago, I was in charge of the prosecution for that trial. At the time,
Occasionally.
Wait, I started doing her southern.
Occasionally we felt the powerlessness of the law. At least, I did. Well, Lana? I became a prosecutor in order to suppress crime with the law. But before I realized it, we were the ones being suppressed by the law.
Defendant, just what are you saying?
I'll ask you again, Chief Prosecutor. During that trial 2 years ago, did you really present all the evidence in court? Can you look me, an investigator in that crime, in the eye and say that you did?
Chief Prosecutor, you didn't.
I don't have to, Officer Marshall.
why won't you answer him?
Drastic crimes require drastic measures. That's just the way it is. We did what we had to, in order for him to get the verdict he deserved. But Lana! Even if it involved forging evidence.
See? That's what I'm talking about.
No. No! Order!
Lana's remarks caused such a stir. The chaos in the courtroom could not be quelled. Would have to wait until the following day.
Thanks for watching this episode of Gabba the Game Night. Like, comment, subscribe, go to the more bunny.
Y'all come back now, partners.
Good night.
Gabba the game night, Gabba the game night, Gabba the game night, yay. Come on and watch him play games every other day. If you subscribe now, you won't miss out on any of the action. So come on, click that subscribe button.